Every year it appears in late autumn, fetches premium prices, and is part of French culinary heritage. The truffle, this special tasting fungus, is a treasure that is increasingly difficult to produce. We are at Boncourt-sur-Meuse in Lorraine. It's here that Jean-Sébastien Pousse and his 2 truffle dogs oversee 7 hectares of hazel trees, specially planted for the scientific study and under which the precious fungus grows. The truffle that we eat is the result of a complex relationship between a tree and a fungus, an essential and fragile interaction that is already affected by climate change. The truffle is a climate integrator of an entire year. The truffle starts to form quite early in the spring, at the same time as our fruit trees blossom, and will mature in the autumn or winter up to Christmas. A spell that is too dry, hot, or cold in these 6 to 9 months may jeopardize the truffle crop. For the past 3 years, very dry spells have had a very harmful effect on truffle growers' crops. Only irrigation has allowed professionals of the sector to harvest a satisfactory crop. The sector is therefore working closely with scientific research to continue to ensure production, despite these climatic conditions. At first sight, this truck driving around the Lorraine countryside has nothing remarkable about it. However, it has a special load, a laboratory. Researchers from Inra in Nancy use this mobile laboratory to make soil samples and analyze them in experimental truffle fields. The aim is to identify the ideal conditions for growing this truffle, whose reproduction is still a mystery for science. In the soil samples collected, we will specifically search for the truffle DNA, and particularly the DNA of 2 genes which are really important for the sexual reproduction of the fungus. Why study these genes? Because what truffle growers want is in fact the organ derived from the sexual reproduction of the fungus, and we want to see when this reproduction takes place in the field. To get to the heart of the truffle, we need to go to the Inra labs in Nancy. It is here that the soil samples are received from the 13 experimental sites involved in the truffle crop study funded by France Agrimaire. After sifting these samples, the researchers will quantify the truffle DNA in them. They will thus monitor throughout the year the truffle content of these soils and study the factors triggering reproduction. Francis Martin has explored the interactions between the fungi and trees since the 1980s. The truffle and the surrounding tree have a beneficial exchange called symbiosis. The fungus provides nutrients obtained in the soil in exchange for sugars offered by the plant. The study of this interaction led in 2007 to the first DNA sequencing of the truffle. Sequencing the truffle genome means identifying the several thousand genes which make up the genetic heritage of this fungus, and thereby identifying those which are expressed during the interaction. Therefore, having a genome at our disposal is like having a book which contains all the interaction protocols between the plant and the fungus. By comparing the truffle's genes and those of the trees, the scientists explore the secrets of this symbiosis. Answers which could provide information about the ability of truffles to adapt to climate changes, so that its powerful perfume continues to permeate future winters.